Bad ABS sensor versus bad wheel speed sensor. They might have similar symptoms, but it's a totally different fix. Imagine driving on a rainy night. Your car suddenly skids, you slam the brakes, and the anti-lock braking system, or ABS, is supposed to save you, but instead, a warning light flashes on your dashboard, leaving you confused. Most people assume it's a bad ABS sensor. But the thing is, sometimes, it's not the ABS sensor at all. It could actually be a bad wheel speed sensor. The symptoms look almost identical, but the fixes are completely different. And if you misdiagnose it, you could waste hundreds of dollars and still have the problem. In this video, we'll break down the difference between a bad ABS sensor and a bad wheel speed sensor, how they fail, the warning signs you'll notice, and most importantly, how to fix the issue the right way. The role of the ABS sensor. The ABS sensor, sometimes called a wheel rotation sensor, sits right by the wheel hub. Its only job is to measure the rotational speed of the wheel and feed that information to the ABS control module. Let's say you slam on the brakes during a skid. Without ABS, your wheels would lock up, and your tires would slide across the road, giving you zero steering control. With ABS, the sensor detects when a wheel is about to lock, and the system rapidly reduces brake pressure on that wheel, preventing it from skidding. A failing ABS sensor means the system can't see what's happening at that wheel. And once the module loses that data, it simply shuts down ABS altogether. Symptoms you'll notice with a bad ABS sensor. ABS warning light. The most obvious clue. Your dashboard stays lit even after the car starts moving. Pulsating brake pedal. You may feel irregular vibrations in the brake pedal. Wheels locking up. Under hard braking, you'll notice tires screeching and skidding because ABS isn't engaging. Longer braking distance. On wet or icy roads, stopping takes longer than usual. These symptoms are clear, but here's where it gets confusing. Wheel speed sensors can cause almost the same ones. By the way, we have this other video here when we talk about the APS traction control light and the ESC light. If all lights appear at the same time, what you should do. Be sure to check out that video. The link is going to be in the description box below. The role of the wheel speed sensor. At first glance, the wheel speed sensor looks and feels almost identical to the ABS sensor. In fact, in many modern cars, they're integrated into a single unit, but in some vehicles, they're separate components. And this distinction matters. The wheel speed sensor isn't just used for ABS. It's used for multiple systems. Filled Circle Traction Control, TCS. Filled Circle Electronic Stability Control, ESC. Filled Circle. Even transmission shifting logic in certain vehicles. This means that when a wheel speed sensor goes bad, it doesn't just affect your brakes. It can disrupt your car's entire electronic safety net. Symptoms of a bad wheel speed sensor include ABS and traction control lights. Usually, both warning lights will appear together. Loss of traction control. Your car may slide more easily on acceleration, especially in wet or snowy conditions. Erratic speedometer behavior. If the ECU shares data with the wheel speed sensor, your speedometer may give false or jumping readings. Transmission glitches. On some cars, gear changes may become rough or delayed because the ECU relies on wheel speed data. So, while both sensors share some overlapping symptoms, the wheel speed sensor typically creates more widespread electronic issues. Why? They get confused. Why do people mix them up? Because both sensors are mounted near the wheels, both report rotational data, and both can trigger the ABS light. But here's the distinction. Filled circle ABS sensor failure right-pointing arrow usually only affects ABS braking performance. Filled circle wheel speed sensor failure right-pointing arrow affects ABS, traction control, stability systems, and sometimes even the transmission. If your car shows multiple warning lights, or more than just braking problems, chances are you're dealing with a wheel speed sensor. How mechanics pinpoint the difference. Professional mechanics rarely guess, they test. The process usually looks like this. Scanning for error codes. An OBD2 scanner will almost always tell you which sensor is malfunctioning. Codes like C0035, left front wheel speed sensor, or C0040, right front ABS sensor, help isolate the problem. Inspecting wiring. Many failures come not from the sensor itself, but from broken or corroded wiring. Sensors live in harsh environments. Mud, water, salt, all can damage connections. Testing resistance. With a multimeter, mechanics check whether the sensor is producing the correct electrical resistance. Too high, too low, or infinite resistance points to a bad unit. Live data check. By spinning each wheel and watching the sensor readings on a scanner, mechanics can instantly see which sensor isn't reporting speed. This step-by-step diagnosis prevents unnecessary part swapping and saves big money. Fixing a bad ABS sensor. If the ABS sensor is confirmed bad, replacement is usually straightforward and doesn't require heavy mechanical skills. Location. Typically mounted to the wheel hub or knuckle where it can read wheel speed accurately. Process. Unbolt it carefully, disconnect the wiring harness, and pop in a new one. Always double-check the connector clips and clean any surrounding dirt before installing so the new sensor works without interference. Cost. Around $100 to $300 depending on your car model and whether OEM or aftermarket parts are used. Labor at a shop may add to the cost, but DIY replacement saves significant money. Sometimes the sensor tip just gets dirty from road debris or metallic dust. In those cases, a careful cleaning with sensor-safe cleaner can restore it without replacement, making it one of the cheaper and faster repairs you can do at home. Fixing a bad wheel speed sensor. Replacing a wheel speed sensor can be more complex compared to an ABS sensor. In some vehicles, it's integrated directly into the hub assembly. That means you don't just swap the sensor. You replace the entire wheel hub and bearing unit. Process. Lift the car on jack stands, remove the wheel, disconnect wiring and clips, and either replace just the sensor or the full hub assembly if integrated. Taking time to clean surrounding rust or debris during reassembly helps prevent early failure. Cost. Anywhere between $250 to $800, depending on whether it's a standalone sensor or built into the hub. Labor charges can also push the bill higher. This is why diagnosing correctly is so important. Mistaking one for the other could mean spending 4 times more than necessary. A wheel speed sensor job can quickly become one of the most expensive fixes if misdiagnosed. Preventing future failures. Both sensors fail mainly due to contamination, physical damage, or wiring issues. But most problems are preventable with a little routine care. Here's how to extend their lifespan and keep warning lights away. Keep the undercarriage clean. Regular washing removes salt, grime, and brake dust that corrode connectors and sensor tips over time. Inspect wiring periodically. Frayed or loose wires should be fixed immediately. Moisture seeping into cracked wiring can mimic sensor failure and create false alarms. Avoid high-pressure sprays on sensors. Water can force itself into connectors and cause corrosion or electrical shorts, especially in winter climates. Replace bearings promptly. Bad wheel bearings can throw off sensor alignment or even physically grind into the sensor, destroying it completely. Taking preventive steps not only saves you from repeating the repair every few months, but also ensures your ABS and traction systems remain reliable during critical driving moments. Is it safe to drive with a bad sensor? Technically, yes. You can drive with a bad sensor. The brakes will still work. But without ABS, traction control, or stability systems, your car is far less safe in emergencies. Imagine hitting black ice or making a sudden stop without ABS assistance. The system exists to save lives, not just for convenience. Driving with a bad sensor should only be a short-term option until repairs are made. Most common signs to watch for. Here's a practical checklist you can keep in mind. Filled circle only ABS light on. Likely ABS sensor. Filled circle ABS plus traction control plus speedometer glitches. Likely wheel speed sensor. Filled circle transmission shifting oddly. Strong chance of wheel speed sensor. Filled circle brakes locking under hard stops. ABS sensor failure. This simple breakdown can help you narrow down the issue even before visiting a mechanic. So let's wrap it all together. Both ABS and wheel speed sensors are tiny parts with massive responsibilities. They may look similar and share overlapping symptoms, but their functions, failure points, and fixes are different. Filled circle bad ABS sensor primarily affects braking performance. Filled circle bad wheel speed sensor affects ABS, traction control, stability, and sometimes even transmission behavior. Knowing the difference can prevent wasted money, faster repairs, and, most importantly, safer driving. If your ABS or traction control light is on, don't ignore it. Take the time to diagnose it properly or have a mechanic confirm which sensor is at fault. That one step could save you hundreds of dollars and keep your car performing exactly as it should in critical situations. Did this breakdown clear up the confusion for you? Let me know in the comments if you've ever had one of these sensors fail and how you figured it out. And if you found this guide helpful, hit that like button, Share it with other drivers who might be struggling with ABS issues. And don't forget to subscribe for more clear, detailed automotive guides every week. Your support helps us bring you the best car guide. Before you go, do check out our other video here on the signs of a bad torque converter versus those of a bad transmission, and I'll see you there.